Starship Troopers Extermination was recently released onto early access, and thanks to a press key, we had a chance to check out whether or not this multiplayer bug hunt will be a fun time for friends and random people alike. The footage you're seeing is taken from the early access of Starship Troopers and may not represent the current version of it. So there won't be any sound because everyone was very active on the voice comms during our matches, and there was a drinking game of how many times we could hear "Would you like to know more?" from a random person. But Starship Troopers Extermination is the kind of, movie follow-up to the franchise. We are part of the mobile infantry, and we have been sent to yet another bug-infested world to take it out for the glory of Earth. And that's going to involve, of course, killing lots and lots of bugs that stand in our way. The game itself is played with 16-player co-op, with teams split into squads made up of 4 people. There are 3 classes in the game currently that represent kind of mobile assault, heavy kind of defensive offensive unit, and support, healing, bringing ammo, that kind of thing. But for our kind of purposes, everyone was just kind of doing whatever the heck they wanted. Each different track will also gain access to different perks, different gear, and this is going to be part of the progression system that happens later into the game. Now, at the moment, we could only play kind of the basic mode. And what that involves is you'll be sent to I believe the maps may be either randomly generated or they may be fixed with random objectives. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment. But the map is split into 2 phases. The first phase is exploring the area, completing specific missions. These missions can be to kill X number of bugs in an area, gather something specific, and so on and so forth. Once you've cleared all the missions, you are then told to hunker down in an area and you'll build kind of a mobile base. This is when the game kind of turns into a quasi-tower defense, where you'll be able to put down various structures, walls, turrets, and so on with a limit based on resources and kind of the number of each type that can be planted. And resources and type are shared among the entire 16-player, how many people are playing. After that, you will have to hold out against multiple waves of enemies, including elites, and trying to survive until the dropship comes down, which then everyone will make a mad dash shouting freedom and other motivating phrases along the way. If you are killed during the basic run of a map, your character will revive after a few seconds, but once the finale is triggered, all characters will only have 1 life. Now, the general gunplay in this one is admittedly okay. There is nothing here that only we haven't seen in terms of the general play like that, but the 16-player co-op is certainly a treat, and that is definitely Starship Troopers Extermination's main selling point right now. Having 16 people all trying to work together with the shared goal of, not being turned into a bug food is certainly a great motivator. Now, with that said, there are a few issues with the version of the game that we played. The first, from a technical standpoint, the game definitely could use some updates in terms of kind of like graphical fidelity. I know developers are working on going to add in more destructibility, viscera, bug guts and stuff flying around, but it does look a little bit plain at the moment. And even with that, we did run into technical issues with the game lagging and losing frame rate, especially during the final assaults, when you are going to be mobbed with as many bugs as you would probably expect out of an EDF game. The progression system looks promising, but we don't really know at the moment exactly, how far things are going to go in terms of customization. They show different perks and weapons, but it seems like, at least at the moment, that some are just going to be flat out better than anything else. And as I said, in terms of the map design or missions, we really only had a chance to see the first basic one. They are planning an endless raid mode, And there will be additional bugs. One of the biggest missing ones are like those flying ones and those giant like flamethrower ones from the first movie. But from the get-go, Starship Troopers Extermination's just primary goal was just to work and present this concept well, and it succeeded on that front. If you're someone who's looking for a new multiplayer experience, one that gets away from the just 4-player co-op standard that we've come to expect, there is certainly some promise here. Now, whether or not the developers will be able to deliver on all that certainly remains to be seen, but even with just a friend and I playing this for our multiplayer night, it was showing a lot of promise, and who here doesn't like fighting waves and waves of hundreds of bugs coming to get you? I am also curious to see where will they go with the base building aspects, because right now it does seem a little bit on the basic side. Since you are limited based on parts and resources, it means that if you're hoping for like a tower defense dream of walls and mazes, you're not going to quite to get there. And right now the only primary goal is protecting whatever your MacGuffin is, so all defenses are kind of localized around that. So with everything said, Starship Troopers Extermination is a very solid concept and makes us wonder why we haven't seen someone really tackle this before, outside of mods for other games. And this game certainly, I hope, will put the fire under the feet of the EDF developers to give us that glorious 5 or 30-person team versus like 10,000 bugs that we all want to do, and so we can all sing the EDF song shanty on a voice chat. So if you would like to know more, there is certainly a lot of promise here, and if they can refine and iterate on this design, then this could be an incredibly fantastic multiplayer game. But with that said, I would like to thank the developers for giving me a press key to check this one out. We'll probably do more of it for our multiplayer nights as we see updates to it. And with that said, if you let me tackle your game for a future video, it does not have to be multiplayer or mobile infantry related. Please get in touch. Do all the YouTubing stuff people tell you to do, like and subscribe, check out our Discord and Patreon, and come back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom where we examine the art and science of games, and crush a lot of bugs.